Hey everyone, you're listening to Handy at the Shandy, a Las Vegas podcast. This is episode 25, hour one of episode 25, and I am joined, as always, by Boring Jack and Table James Games. And in this first hour, we have James's trip report. But before we get into that, I want to say that we were accused of gaslighting you, James, about the delayed gratification experiment where Jack and I said it was cookies and you were adamant that it was marshmallows. Now, I just checked Wikipedia and it does say cookies. That's because I changed it manually. So currently it says cookies, but I don't know if that will be cited or, changed back. But just want to put that out there. We're not apologizing. We're just saying that feedback has come in.
We don't apologize for a lot on this pod, that's for sure.
Right. And we were speaking earlier, Jack and I think we were referencing the Stanford prison experiment where we're pretty sure they got cookies if they made it out at the end without going
that was a famous cookie experiment as well.
Yeah, that's famous what it was.
Mm-hmm. This is now a psychology podcast for everyone listening.
Right, exactly. So, James, you were in Vegas, I think, right after we recorded our last episode. And this is not coming out actually for a while now because we've got like podcast in arrears that's happening. So our timeline's all kind of messed up. But can you start us off on your most recent trip to Las Vegas?
Yeah, this trip I just got back a couple days ago, so it's fresh on the mind. Ooh. And I'm excited to talk about it. I'm not as excited as I was when we recorded last week, because when I recorded last week, I was about to go to Vegas, and that's way more fun, I feel like, to record a podcast right before you go to Vegas with that anticipation we've talked about. But I am excited to share some of the excitement that I had while I was there in my favorite city in the world.
Yeah, let's start with what everybody loves, the plane ride.
Yeah, we'll do 2 hours of the flight to Vegas. I left on Tuesday, and there's two things I did want to talk about on this flight. One, what do you do if the person sitting next to you when you land just starts talking on the phone, but on like the loudest speakerphone volume that could be?
If you got problems with Kim, just talk to her directly and not bring it up. We don't need marital spats in the pod.
Kim wasn't on this trip.
Oh, okay. All right.
As soon as you land in Vegas, there's no rules. So I don't see, if he was polite for the entire flight until after you land and then he starts yelling into his phone, I'm giving the guy credit for having kept it together for so long.
Did they clap when it landed? I think that's going to affect my decision.
They did not clap when it landed. I did watch the Louis Theroux documentary on the way.
Yes.
And at one point, he pointed to it. And I had to take my headphone off. I was like, yeah. And he's like, do you play? just for gambling. And I'm like, yeah.
I thought he meant DVDs. Occasionally.
Okay, and then just went back to his own stuff.
Where did he think you guys were going?
I don't know. Well, the reason why he was on speakerphone and it was really loud was that someone was waiting to pick him up because we landed early. We landed probably 30 minutes early or so, and we get in.
Congratulations!
Thank you. And I'm pumped. You land in Vegas early, you're like, yes, that's an extra 30 minutes of gaming, like 30 minutes of Vegas. And of course we land and they're like, hey, there's a plane still at our gate. So we're going to have to wait here for a couple minutes.
That happened to me when I got in early.
Yeah. Well, a couple minutes went by and they said, actually, the flight or the plane that is at our gate is delayed going to San Francisco. So we have to wait a little longer. We waited 45 minutes. We sat on the tarmac for 45 minutes. Why not just find us another gate? It
had to just pull the emergency exit. Yeah,
right. Get me on the slide to get.
I think that's good. You draw straws. Who's going to pull the exit and get arrested? But the rest of us go free. Yeah. Right. That's the first gamble in Vegas.
And we get cookies too. At the bottom of the slide.
Yeah, so many cookies. But we finally got there. Now, I'm glad there's a tram because that's just less walking and it makes me get just a little closer to my destination. But that has to be one of the shortest tram rides in the airport, right?
You're talking about the red line one. I've never taken the red line because I fly mainline carriers from the D gates that go to the blue line.
Yeah, I do the red line as well. It is a very short tram ride.
It has to be the shortest tram ride. ever. And it's like, okay, you're getting on, but there's no way you can walk it. Anyway, I don't know why I wanted to say that. I just found it.
I do
in
wish
my
there was a
notes.
way you could walk it, though, because like the Blue Line one is much longer. It maybe goes half a mile, but it's like I can walk half a mile. So
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, the red line is super short, which is fine, whatever. But then I get there and my bags were at the very last baggage carousel.
Man,
That
what
doesn't
a
that
terrible
matter to
start
me
to
at
this
all.
trip.
What a terrible start to this trip, right?
No, I have
But
no
I finally got my bags, and they weren't even there. Like, you walk forever to get to the last baggage carousel, and they weren't even there yet. I finally got them
This
and got in a
trip
cab.
sucks. This trip
Jesus,
sucks.
Pete, why even go?
Hey, listen, the people want more airport talk.
Yeah, this is good. We're definitely keeping all this.
Leave it in.
Leave it in. So I finally get to Palazzo. My buddy Mike is there, friend of the pod, Mike, and head down to High Limit Palazzo. Obviously, got to stop in there. Friend of the pod, Dan, is hanging out, already a little drunk, which is lovely.
It's the Dan we know and love. Yeah.
You know, is just playing some Ultimate X at High Limit. We didn't play for that long. I lost $95 that first night. I had to also go check in at the Wynn because, you know, shocker, Table Games James is double booked at Wynn and Palazzo.
Yeah, so if you've got your handy at the Shandy bingo card out, we've already mentioned Palazzo High Limit, Ultimate X, and a double booked room at Wynn. So if someone is one square away from a bingo at this point, and you're still 20 minutes into the trip, or only 20 minutes into the trip.
Well, I'm pretty sure double booked at Wynn is the free space for me. So, woke up early on Wednesday, walked over to the Wynn because I had to do a little bit of work.
So Palazzo's like the home and Wynn is like the office.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
James did some work on the trip. Yes, that's also another bingo square. Good.
Hey, some of us work, okay? So I needed to make sure I got some in. But Mike was staying with me at Palazzo because we were there at the conference together, and his university didn't pay for, they paid for the Rio. But he's like, I don't want to stay at the Rio. So we were splitting a room and figured, well, I'll just do most of my work over at Wynn. It was dead, not surprisingly. It's a Wednesday at 6:45 a.m. But they had $25 blackjack at that time, which I very rarely see 25 3-2 blackjack in that pit right next to the craps and bar. So they had that, and they had $50 Bach on the floor, which I hardly ever see that at Wynn either, which is kind of interesting. Like, oh man, it's summer, middle of the week, 7 a.m. If you want to get some decent gambling at the Wynn, that's where you can go. I did some work and then decided I was just going to put in a little bit of play. Did not put in much play at all at Wynn in their high limit room. I was playing double, 3-line dollars, $15 a press. And hit
I'm surprised you
aces.
can play for that in the Wynn High Limit room.
Yeah.
I feel like they're one of the high limit rooms that actually sticks to high minimum wagers on a lot of these games. Duffy's even talked about that, like looking to find a Huff and Puff machine. He's like, oh yeah, the one in Wynn starts at 60, whereas everyone else it's 20 or 30 or something like that.
There are 2 machines for video poker that you can do 3 lines dollars for 15. And it's 9-6, so decent game. I hit 4 aces for 800, ended up winning $600 and left. So I did very little play at Wynn. It's the only time I played at Wynn, at least on my card. So I'm going to see if I have finally burned my offers there.
If not, we're going to make some calls because this is getting ridiculous. So cut them off.
Well, my offers have gone down to only 2 free nights, and it's during the week. 75 free play, 25 resort credit.
Okay, you're getting there.
So I'm getting there. I'm getting pretty low on those offers. That day, I think after I did some work, I went back to Palazzo, met up with Michael, played a little bit of video poker, nothing big to really report. Michael's a big blackjack player, so we found some blackjack there, played for like an hour, I think,
Nice.
Broke out dead even.
Okay.
Mainly because I got back to even after losing my first 4 hands. And finally, after clawing my way back, as soon as I got to even, I'm like, I'm done. This is boring. I don't want to play anymore. And then, as I said on our last episode, we went to the Arts District for a pretty long time on Wednesday. So in fact, I would say through the first 24 hours of the trip, I did more non-gambling than gambling.
Wow. This is a big step.
which is very, very not James-like.
Mm-hmm.
But we did talk about New Year's goals, and I said I wanted to do this. So I'll do a quick rundown of going to the Arts District for lunch.
Were you like Cameron in Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Like, I'll go, and just had to be pulled there?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was.
Okay.
Funny thing that happened on the way there. We got a cab driver. He was not recording a podcast, but he could have been. We're driving down from Palazzo to the Arts District, and we go by that Romeo and Juliet lingerie shop. It's like an adult store.
I'm going to be honest, not familiar with that.
Doesn't matter.
We'll do a podcast field trip at some point.
The cab driver goes, the guy who opened that doesn't know the story of Romeo and Juliet. And Michael and I are like, oh, yeah? And he's like, yeah, they're teenagers. And just was like,
it's a dynamite drop in.
And we're like, yeah, okay. Like, I don't know what he wanted us to say, but I don't know. Like, he must say that to every single person when he walks by, when he drives by. It's like his joke to
all
get people
died
down there.
Too.
Yeah, right.
Right. That's kind of where I thought it was going.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's a tragedy, but
no, he was saying that it was inappropriate to have a sex toy shop named after Romeo and Juliet.
It should have been Macbeth.
Okay. Yeah, it should have been.
The Scottish sex toy shop.
Mm-hmm.
So
you flash your economics degree. I got to flash my English lit degree at some point. So
yes, for sure. We just need a psychologist on the pod, and maybe we'll get other things correct.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, drop us off at Stray Pirate. Well, Stray Pirate doesn't open until 2 p.m. on Wednesday. So I'm like, well, I guess we're gonna go somewhere else. So it's like 11:30 a.m. It's like, well, let's go somewhere else. We'll find some lunch. We're walking around. I'm like, man, it's dead. And then I realized it's noon on a Wednesday in the Arts District. Like, of course it's going to be dead. It's not like I'm on the Strip.
Right. It's the Art District. Like, everything's supposed to open at a weird time. Like, It's not supposed to be normal.
So we ended up going to Soul Belly for barbecue. So 360 J Dubs from the Neon Lounge podcast suggested we go there, and it was delicious.
That was
really
one of the
food.
good places I've had barbecue in Vegas, for sure. I haven't been super impressed with Vegas barbecue outside of that one.
Yeah, it was really good. I wish we were there at night because they had a stage and like a bunch of live music, and I bet you it'd be really cool in the evening because we all know how much I love music, which we'll talk about later. After that, we went over to Able Baker to have a couple of beers. I think I only had one because I was trying to pace myself since, I was going to be going all day.
Was it like a craft brew place or what?
Yeah, it's a brewery. Able Baker's a brewery down there in the Arts District. Then headed over to Rebar. So I'm not sure if either of you have been. It is a dive bar. So you know how sometimes when I go out to Vegas, I perform improv with this group, Bleach is their name. It's a long-form improv group. And I reached out to some of the performers, and they were like, oh, this is a dive bar that we go to after some of the shows. It's pretty cool. And it is. It has $3 mystery bag beers.
Ooh.
So they just put it in a paper bag, and it's $3 for a beer. It's like, oh, this is great. Cool vibes, very divey, bikery type vibes going on.
I can just imagine the bikers and the improv group just mingling and having a blast.
Yeah,
just having a blast. It's 2:00 now, so we head back over to Stray Pirate, and there's a sign on the door that says, sorry, opening at 6 today.
Oh.
No explanation.
On brand. I like it.
No explanation. Just like, well, we're not going to stick around until 6 p.m. So we ended up not
sorry.
going. They did say sorry.
That's a bummer because I wanted to talk to you about that place. I thought that place was awesome when I went.
I wanted to go as well, but
we'll have to do another field trip.
At that point, Michael and I were like, well, we don't really have anything else on the list, so let's just walk around because we had another hour or two to kill. And we ended up walking by a brewery called Hop Nuts. No one was in there. So we're
I wish I knew which breweries were which, because I've probably been to 4, maybe 5 breweries in the Arts District, but I couldn't tell you which one is which one.
So Hop Nuts, the bartender was great. We were the only ones in there though, so I guess she had nothing better to do than just to talk to us, and she was giving us some recommendations about, oh, you should do this other thing, you should do this other thing. And we're like, well, we probably only have time for one more place. And she said, you've got to go to Silver Stamp. And we're like, okay. She's like, you guys like beer? We're like, yeah. It's like, this place has a bunch of international beers in bottle, on tap. You should go there. gave us the address, said it's right across from a chapel that has a pink Cadillac in front. She's like, you need to know that because there's no sign on the building. I was like, okay. So we find the place, it's a block and a half off kind of that main drag. And you go in, it is pitch black. Like when you first, especially because it was super bright outside because it's in the middle of the day in Las Vegas. And the room is so dark that we got in there and you legitimately couldn't see until your eyes started to adjust.
It's like Frankie's.
That's exactly what I was going to say, yeah.
So we ended up sitting at the bar. The bartender was great. I didn't get his name, but he said he'd worked there for a pretty long time. And he gave us the beer list. I took a picture of it. I'll probably post it on my Twitter at some point. And it was just all these like random international beers. Like some of them, are $160, $170 for the bottle. And I'm not like a huge, I got to check everything into Untapped type beer drinker, but it's definitely one of those locations where you get like extremely rare beer. And Michael found a brewery from Oregon that had closed this year and it was on draft. And he's like, oh, do you still have this? And he's like, yeah, this is the last keg in Southern Nevada. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what he said. So we had a couple of those and decided, hey, it's time to get back to the strip.
What's your take on the Arts District? Like, well, you've seen it during the day on a Wednesday, and kind of just bumped around.
I've been to the Arts District a few other times in the evenings. This was more of trying to go to different breweries / restaurants, and I enjoyed it. I did not get the itch to gamble, but I think it was because I hadn't started yet. Like, I bet if I had had a day of, sitting at Bar Luca and then the next day went to the Arts District, I'd be like, God, I got to get back to Bar Luca. I bet you I would have felt that way. I did not have that feeling.
That's why you play the hits later in the trip.
Yeah, that's why I got to play those hits. I would definitely do it again. I was there for long enough that I was perfectly fine with spending 4 or 5 hours not worrying about being at the casino. If I was only going for 2 days, I don't think I would have done it.
Mm-hmm. It's not far though. It's not like there's no impediment to getting there. It's a quick round trip.
Yeah, but I think if people wanted more of the artsy vibes, you would definitely go in the evening, where there's more live music and a little more action going on, I would say. So overall, A+. I'd do it again. I put out on Twitter like, hey, where should we go? And so many people gave me suggestions. So I didn't even hit up half of them that people said we should go to. So I'll probably go again. I don't know. I won't be in Vegas again for another at least, 28 days. No one's counting. So we ended up going back to the Palazzo. And that night we were getting dinner at Noma Kai with my friend Eric. And then I was going to the No Doubt concert at Sphere. And my phone was dying. So we went back up to the room, plugged my phone in, and I'm like, I got to get back down to gamble.
Without your phone?
Without my phone. Risking not being able to take a picture if I hit anything big.
Right.
But that's fine. It was really nice to be device free because I was just sitting there. I went to the high limit room, had a
device
cocktail.
Free, says the guy at the video poker machine.
Just living in the moment.
Yeah, living in the moment without any screens except for the big fucking screen with the cards on it.
And the TVs around you, but
yeah. Went down, I was playing, I was getting wrecked. This was in the high limit. So when I was playing this trip in the Palazzo High Limit Lounge, I would play 25-cent Ultimate X double bonus. Because they don't have bonus poker there at all, and not even on single line or anything. So I was like, that's when I'll play that game. When I was at Bar Luca, I mainly played 50-cent Ultimate X bonus poker. So up the amount, up the denom, but lower that variance. Or I would play 3 lines, dollars, double bonus 9-6. So of course, I'm sitting there playing the 25-cent game, and I hit a royal with no multiplier. So I was dealt 3 to the royal, and I just hit the button, and boom, get the sound on the first line. So another royal. So I'm excited because I got a royal. However, it was
you were
1X.
Down big, it sounds like. Did this bring you back into the black?
Yeah, so I was down probably like $800 at the time. So it brings me back up on the short session that I'm going to play. ended up winning $100 in that session. I think 100. My notes say 102.50 because I'm keeping very specific notes. And what I ended up doing was having the bartender take a photo and texting it to me.
That's a good plan.
And now you have the bartender's number, so
I do have the bartender's number. Which
you'd
was
be like, hey, you up?
You up? I was up for the trip at this point.
Ooh.
We ended up going to Nomakai, the quote unquote speakeasy with the big sign outside that says speakeasy.
The sign, sushi, sake, speakeasy.
Now, Jack, you said you went there before, right?
Never.
Oh, I thought you
walked by
it. Trips. Okay.
No.
We've all walked by it, I guess.
Well, you're thinking of a different highly signed speakeasy that I went to.
It was delicious, mainly because it was free. No. As I talked about in the last episode, Eric is a faculty member out there, and so he was bringing some of his textbook users out to dinner and invited me along. No, not the students, like other
textbooks
faculty.
Cost so much these days. You get like comps if you buy one.
Yeah,
exactly. You get some comps with it.
Your student is a textbook user. Yeah, they're reading it.
Yeah, so people who are using his textbook or close friends, he took us all out and ended up, there's a private room that you can get if you were, booking for 8 or whatever.
That's the speakeasy.
Yeah, that must be the speakeasy part. And so it was 8 of us, and we had some cocktails. And really, you don't have anything specific to report on because we just kind of ordered everything on the menu and passed it around. But there wasn't anything I had that wasn't delicious. I have no idea how much
kind of food is it?
There was sushi.
Okay.
Well, it's Asian food, Adam, so I don't know how you would react to it.
Yeah. I'd probably have to back away slowly.
You might have to.
And respectfully.
Really, really good though. I would highly suggest it. And the prices did not seem outrageous. Like I didn't look at the menu and go, man, this is super expensive for Vegas. It seemed right around kind of your normal, like your $20 to $25 for cocktail, sushi in that same kind of range. There was obviously a few things on that menu that were pricey when it came to, you could have the not a but like a tasting. Like they had a couple of tasting things that were more in the 150 range. But we just kind of ordered a little bit of everything, and it was good. I liked it,
and it was free.
I said, Eric, can I help? And he said, nope. This is on me. Thank you for coming on out. So I was like, okay, great. Then we went over.
I gotta get friends like this.
I know.
I'm just hanging out with you schlubs. I'm paying for everything.
If you could pay for my next dinner, Adam, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'm going to Venmo Adam when I'm in Vegas next weekend. Just request him for Chupacabra or something.
You're not paying me, of course.
No, it'll be a request.
A Venmo request. I like it. Ended up heading over to the No Doubt concert. Walked over there. Got a beer. So the day drinking continued into the evening.
Wow.
But, it came with one of those amazing souvenir cups that then I had to carry around the rest of the evening.
Was it Gwen Stefani or like what is the
Yeah.
the
It was the 4 of them on the cup with.
Was it really?
Yeah, with like checkered.
I was just joking.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah. That's exactly what it was actually.
Yeah.
I have some thoughts on the No Doubt
All right.
concert.
The non-music fan has thoughts about the concert.
Correct.
Buckle up.
The display, right? The visuals were amazing. Way better than the Backstreet Boys.
Oh, right, because you had already been to the Sphere.
Mm-hmm. So I've seen Backstreet Boys at the Sphere. But the big difference between Backstreet Boys and No Doubt is that Backstreet Boys have a lot of hits. Like a lot of just, even if you're not into pop music, you just know a lot of them because they're just out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think I knew like 4 No Doubt songs, and it was a 2-hour concert. So there was a lot of the
that
music
might be more than I know.
There was a lot of songs that I was just like, well, this is nice, but like it's not as exciting when you're at a concert and you like know the words and you can like sing along and everyone's kind of jumping along. There was also, it's like a story. So they play old videos from when like they were just starting and they went through kind of like the history of the band, which was cool, except for like 3 times during the concert, they just played a movie, like a 5 to 10 minute video on like the back of the sphere, right? So it was interesting, but also I felt like it brought the energy way down because people were just kind of sitting there watching this like documentary style.
Did you notice people treating it as kind of like an intermission? Like, did a lot of people get up and get drinks at that point?
No,
or people just kind of sat and watched?
I think people just sat and watched. I didn't really clock that either way. And then there was twice where the band was just like jamming and Gwen Stefani would like look into the crowd, into the standing room only, and would be like, hey, you've got a sign that says it's your honeymoon. Come on up here and get a selfie, and would invite like 5 people up onto the stage.
Oh, crowd work. Love it.
Give them a hug and like take a selfie with them. So again, that was like another 10 minutes twice during the show that nothing really was happening. And so like it could have been like an hour and 15 show in my mind. It seemed like they were dragging it out for a full 2 hours.
I think every show in Vegas should be an hour 15. I mean, right. That's exactly how long you want to be away.
Yeah. But so I'm actually shocked it was only an hour, 15 minutes. If they're doing like multiple...
No, it was 2 hours. I'm saying it was 2 hours. Could have been an hour to an hour 15. And again, I'm definitely not a No Doubt like super fan. Again, I only knew a few songs. I'm not even the type of person who's just like, I love music and I want to go to concerts all the time, right? I am going to this because it's the Sphere and it's Vegas.
And it's free.
You probably don't want to take much advice from me, especially those of you listening that are like, I love No Doubt. I'm sure it was amazing. There was someone who's sitting 2 seats to my right who sang every word of every song, and she seemed like she was having the time of her life. It wasn't sold out. You could see pockets of empty spaces there. I think for whatever price you're willing to pay, it's worth it. And my willingness to pay I probably would have paid $75 for it, which is really low. I don't think I would have paid more than $100 for that ticket. But again,
I saw clips though. It did look like a good show. Like when they were not in their intermission phase, it seemed like the sound was good. Like you said, the visuals were good.
Yeah. Finally made it back. So there was 7 of us together at the concert, and we get out of the concert, and I just say to Eric and the other people that are with us, I'm like, hey, I'm going back to Palazzo. It's so crowded after a show at Sphere. I probably won't see you because I'm just going to try to get back as fast as possible so I can start gambling. And
did you trade in that souvenir cup for the phone up in your room, or did you just go straight to the machines?
No. So what I did,
keep the cup?
I did keep the cup. Keep the cup. I went back, and so Michael was not at the concert. He went to the Rio to meet up with some people at the conference. I texted him like, hey, what are you doing? No response. I texted friend of the pod, Dan, because he was staying at Palazzo as well. I was like, hey, are you still up gambling? No response. So I'm like, all right. So I decided to go into high limit, and I'm like, oh, I need to activate my credit. So up to this point, I haven't had to, I brought like $1,000 with me and I was up, so I hadn't had to activate it. But I'm like, I might need it tomorrow. May as well activate it now. So I go and activate my credit, and then I go to get in line for the cashier because I was like, let me just get a $1,000 Tito and maybe play a little bit. And there were 2 people in front of me in the high limit room window right there. And I waited. It seemed like a long time. It was probably only like 5 minutes. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go to bed.
Good choice.
Wow.
And that was a very good choice. And here's the thing. At 8:30 in the morning on Thursday was my presentation for this conference. So it was probably a good choice. This was like 11:30 p.m. So I was in bed by midnight. But we had been drinking.
This is like the opposite of what they tell you about getting a credit line. Like, you get a credit line, you'll have too much easy access to money. That'll keep you gambling for longer than you otherwise would. Here it was like 5 minutes. Fuck it, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, so exactly. I was like,
that you got saved by the bureaucracy.
What a day for James. The art district, listening to music, and then going to bed early.
I know. I am so cultured.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a great choice because I woke up and I felt like a brand new man. I was like, this is great. I woke up at 5:30, I believe. I had woken up at about 2 to go to the bathroom, and Mike was not there. Good. Was not in the room yet. And I was like, I
didn't know there was going to be more context to this. I thought you were just telling us.
No, I thought I woke up to take a piss. No. But then when I woke up at like 5:30, he was. So I know that he got in at some point between around 3. So I'm like, hey, just I'm gonna go down to the video poker. We've got to leave for our presentation at like 7:30. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll be ready.
And this is Thursday morning?
This is Thursday morning because we presented Thursday morning. So I went down, saw Philip at Bar Luca. And
so here's the big question. What sort of energy drink were you able to get from him?
So I said, hey, any chance you got a sugar-free Red Bull up there? And he said, oh, I don't know. And he looked and he had one behind the bar.
Wow.
There's one coworker of his that just keeps bringing in a Red Bull a day, and he just keeps serving it out
we chatted a lot. It was a good chat. And I gave him one of our packets of the 4 of a kind tracker. He was very excited to get a new one that had the drink tracker.
Yeah. Because we gave him one. Duffy and I got one for him on the last time we were there. He had specifically requested one when he saw us doing it one morning.
Yeah, and I got there. We were chatting a little bit. I wasn't playing a lot because we were talking, and I'm. It's the early morning. I wasn't doubling up, though.
Oh, my God.
I did play. I was playing 50 Cent Ultimate X, and I had an 11X on line 1, an 11X on line 3, and no multiplier in the middle. All right, with bonus poker, you can get that 11X.
11, 1, 11. Yeah.
11, 1, 11. And I'm dealt 2 aces, and I'm like, okay, so I hit it, and I don't get anything on that first line. And then I, for some reason, look away. I don't know if Philip said something to me or if I was looking at my phone, but I wasn't watching, and I heard the sound of getting 4 of a kind. So I knew I had 4 aces. And I look over, and it's on the top line. Nice. 11X. Now, it says 4,400 because it's 400 times 11.
So if you were playing quarters, that'd be $1,100.
Correct. So my brain goes, ooh, $1,100. Great. But then it comes up 2,200.
And the machine starts doing
and it starts best
song ever.
Did I tell you guys about the time Ryan and I, friend of the pod Ryan and I, were sitting at Chandelier Bar. We were just losing, and so he pulled that song up on his phone from YouTube to try to turn the mojo around. And the bartender was like, "Oh, did you hit something?" And then he saw he was playing it on his fucking phone.
I feel like artists should try and get their song to be that. You know what I mean? Lease their song for, you know what I mean? Pitbull
why doesn't it play "Don't Speak" when
Mambo number 5, anything to, I'm sure that's possible. I'll look into it.
You should look into that. Also, why is that not our entrance or exit song, Jack? That's what it should have been.
I'm sure the rights to that are so expensive. $2,200.
So at this point in the trip, I'm up 2,300, and I'm thinking, let's run it back like the birthday trip. Let's make this trip another big win. By the time I got paid, it actually took a decent amount of time. The woman came over to pay me, the slot attendant. It was like, hey, sorry, we're right in the middle of a shift change. I'm like, it's whatever. It's making me not lose money, but also I'm gonna win all trip. So I could have moved over one machine. I should have done what I see people do, where they just move over to the machine next to it and keep playing. But I didn't. Went to the Rio, had conference. I didn't gamble at all there. It was quite depressing. I did see the $3 craps table though, that had some people at it at 7:30 in the morning. But it just
does that count as depressing or
no? It just again though, it's the middle of the week at 7:30 a.m. I'm not expecting it to be super vibing or anything like that. But it doesn't feel like what I want Vegas to feel like, which is Cosmo,
which is super
Venetian,
vibing,
Palazzo, which is vibing. We presented from 8:30 to 11:30. Well, we were only a little bit in that part, but that was our session. And I just left. I booked it right back to Venetian because I had a couple of meetings.
Did you walk?
No.
I just figured I'd ask.
Yeah, it's a good question. No, I did not. However, I did want to ask this question. When you're in Vegas, there's always these signs that are ride share over there, or you've got to walk downstairs. You've got to go in different areas. And I saw so many people at the Rio waiting in the wrong area for ride share. Because my guess is most other places in the entire world, if you go to a hotel, you just go out front and wait for your ride share. Is there anywhere else in the world
that has such segregated rideshare access?
Right.
Well,
besides
that's a
an
good point.
airport, I don't think so.
Right.
That's a good point. You don't just go out to the arrivals section to find your rideshare at an airport, though.
True.
But yeah. Okay.
But like if you're not used to going to a casino hotel, right? Especially if you're just a conference goer or maybe you're just visiting Vegas for the first time and you just expect, hey, this is where everyone else is getting dropped off. This is where I see people getting dropped off. This is where I see cars. There's a little cul-de-sac circle thing here, right? Not cul-de-sac.
Porte cochere.
Porte cochere. That's the word I'm looking for. So I saw so many people just like staring at their phones and like, yeah, I'm here. Where are you?
Oh no.
So I think that's cut back on the number of people who try to flag a taxi from a random road, like Las Vegas Boulevard, for instance, because that used to be a thing. Like Vegas novices, especially on like big events, who are coming out and they didn't know, like pre-Uber and stuff. Like you couldn't just get it. You have to go to one of the resorts to grab a taxi on Las Vegas Boulevard, and that was like every trip you'd see like one or two people try to flag something down.
Yeah.
Which is also like a place where that doesn't happen in any other city.
Right. It was just an interesting little tidbit I thought of when I was sitting out there waiting for my Uber in the correct area.
Yeah, those poor people just want to get out of the Rio.
Yeah, I don't blame them. But went back for lunch at Howlin' Ray's. You know, Jack gave such a glowing
I need the
review.
report. Did they have honey available? Did you ask?
I did not ask. I did not ask for bee honey. I just used their ranch that they had as my dipping sauce. But it was good. I really did. I liked it. And what level of hotness did you get, Jack?
I got one medium and one hot.
Okay. I got hot.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Are you sure? Have you ever had hot before?" And I was like, "I think it's like there's still two more above that.
There's three above it.
Oh, there's three.
Yeah.
Right. And it was not that hot.
No,
so they have the Scoville rating or whatever it's called.
I don't think they had a Scoville rating.
Oh, okay.
But it was really weird. I don't know if they just looked at me and they're like, "You're white as fuck. Are you sure?"
I think the thing is, I think a lot of people see that there's three above it and think, "Oh, that must mean it's not very hot." And then they get surprised that it's still pretty hot. I had kind of a similar experience at Lemongrass at Aria, the Thai restaurant there, where the heat was from 1 to 10. And I was like, I don't know, if it's from 1 to 10, I probably want like a 7. And they were like, oh, no, our heat is more like a traditional 1 to 5 scale where 1 is mild and 5 is hot. And then it goes up from there. And I was like, then why is it a 1 to 10 scale? So I ended up getting like a 5 and it was great. But like, and it was about as hot as I wanted it at a 5. So we managed to, kind of do a currency conversion sort of thing there. But I was like, why would you tell? Anyways, you see, everyone can tell why that's silly.
It's just sad that us white men are being marginalized like this and just discriminated against. Because I like really hot food too. So we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to do a field trip, and we'll have to test out the hottest.
Let's do it.
Hottest thing.
So after lunch, I decided now's time to put in a good session. And Bar Luca didn't have enough seats for myself, Michael, and friend of the pod, Dan, to play. So we ended up going into Palazzo High Limit. Shocker. Mike's like, I don't need to play. And so Dan and I are playing. Had a couple of good hits. I was probably up another $1,000 or so when friend of the pod, I'm going to say friend of the pod, Vinny Chenz in the old 7 Out podcast shows up. And first time I've ever met him in person. Great dude. Was in town to play some of the World Series of Poker and gamble like he does. And so he shows up. There's no machines available. So for like probably 20 to 30 minutes, he's just standing next to me while I play 25-cent double-double and has a couple of cocktails. And I keep asking him, like, hey, do you want to play? Like, I've been playing all day. Do you want to play? I'm actually doing pretty well. So, like, if you want to take over, maybe the machine may be on take mode now. So, like, you should come in and lose your money. But he's like,
I'm
no,
sure
he
found that to be a really alluring. Yeah,
probably did. But then he's like, hey, why don't we just like both put in $500 and play together? I'm like, yeah, that's great.
I was going to say, like, this, I don't know Vinny that well, but for him to go seemingly that long without gambling and being in a casino. And I don't mean this to be, rude, Vinny, but this seems like that's too long for him.
I think it was.
Okay.
And
That's
that's
a
why I was
patient
trying
man
to
right
be
there.
like, do you want to? And he's like, no. And finally, he's like, let's both put $500 in. And then we upped it to playing 5-line 50 senses.
Ooh.
So it was 25 a press, right? That would be 25 a press of that. Yeah. And we didn't win anything on our first 500. So then we decide we're going to put another 500 in, and we didn't win anything. So then we decide to put another 500 in.
It's only $500. That's how
right.
I mean, like,
and then we up it to, we play for a little while and we're like, let's put another 500 in. So we're both in for 2,000 and let's up it to 10-line.
10-line 50 cents.
Hang on, I'm about to go get a When the Fun Stops pamphlet. I'll be right back.
Well, I'm up at this point, right? So I'm like, all right, so we play $50 presses. Talk about the heart gets pumping. Even though I'm splitting it, you're dealt 3 aces. You've got 10 lines of possible really good hit.
Possible $1,000 hit times whatever.
We didn't get jack shit. Did not get a single hand pay. And this is, and I'll talk later on Saturday, we also played, which went better, didn't go as bad as this. So ended up losing that 2,000. Vinny left. I then floated a little bit. And I put into my spreadsheet, I lost $3,200 at this bar. And that put me down on the trip, like $1,100 at that time. And I was sad.
Yeah, that's an appropriate emotion.
Flash forward about 24 hours, I realized I double counted 2 of those buy-ins. So I had, in my spreadsheet / in my thought process, I thought I lost an extra $1,000. So when I finally did I had.
It's good that you were being really meticulous about it this time.
Right, exactly. So I don't know if that was changing my stuff on Friday because I thought I was down more than what I actually was. Because when I found out that I'm down $1,000 less than I thought I was, I got so excited. It was like I hit $1,000 hand, right?
You went to go pay taxes somewhere.
I was so excited. So we're on to Friday, people. We're on to Friday. And the rest of this is going to be a lot of just gambling. Shocker. Woke up Friday morning again early. Had to get back to the Rio because I was discussing a paper, because when Michael signed us up for this conference, he checked the little box that said, sure, we'll be discussants. Damn it. So I had to go back to Rio in the morning. I played at Bar Luca in the morning, just like an hour. I say just an hour of by yourself at a video poker bar can be a lot. Lost a little bit and went to the Rio again. Did not do anything besides show up for the conference, said hi to some people, did my discussant. Boom, back to Palazzo for some more work.
Now are you done? Is this James is done with work?
I'm done with work. Well, I went back to work at the Palazzo. I was supposed to have 2 student meetings.
Oh, right.
One student canceled on me and the other one signed into Zoom. And after 15 minutes was like, well, that's all I really have this week. So I had an hour and a half of found time. And one of my friends, Hillary, who teaches in Western Massachusetts, I'd seen her at breakfast and she was like, do you want to get lunch? And I had told her, yes, but I have students until 2 o'clock. She's like, okay, I'll come by, sometime after 2 and we can grab lunch. Well, now I'm done early. And so I'm like, well, I'll use this time. Instead of doing what I should have done, which I should have texted her and been like, hey, I'm done early. We should eat lunch early. I was like, let's just go down to play at Bar Luca. And I lost another $800, which was now thinking of the last 3 sessions I had. It was lose. So it gets to that point of the trip where I'm like, I need something to hit soon or else I'm just going to be depressed. I need a mood changer. Did not get much until later on that. Actually, later on that night I hit something small. But Hillary came to Palazzo. I was playing, we're chatting, and she was like, oh, I'd really like to get some oysters. I looked online and I saw that Milos, right? That's the place that we went.
Mm-hmm.
And they had this lunch special. It was pretty good, $45.
The
I think.
Milos prefix lunch
Yeah.
special has been a long time staple of Vegas, even going back to when they were at like Cosmo and stuff.
Right. And that has an oysters part of it. So I was like, oh, we should do that. And if we don't get there in time, they have an afternoon menu at the bar that starts at 3:00 that has oysters for, whatever market price is. So we're like, oh, cool. So we have a cocktail and it's $230, $235-ish. And we're like, okay, let's close out here, charge the room, head over to Milos. And we get there and it's $250. And they say they serve lunch till 3. And so we go up to the host stand and they say, oh, sorry, we stopped seating at 2:45. Which, like, fine, but just say that you only do lunch till 2:45 then. So that way when I look online, I make sure I get there beforehand, or at least mention that. And I said, okay, well, we'll just do the afternoon menu at 3. And she's like, oh, we don't do that anymore. And that was online too. So I was sad.
A lot of sad James
this trip, exactly. So I asked the hostess, like, well, is there a place to get oysters? They said, sure, go up to the Grand Canal shops at Mercado. And I was like, I haven't heard of that, but I'll find it. So I walk upstairs or go up the escalators, and it's in kind of that main area. You know what I'm talking about when you get into
the St. Mark's Square sort of place?
Yeah, the square. And so we go there, and I was like, hey, we wanted oysters. They're like, oh, yeah, here's the menu. And they had East Coast and West Coast. We ended up getting...
Tupac.
Yeah, exact. Biggie and Tupac. We got one Biggie, one Tupac. So we got a half a dozen of each. And then we got a couple glasses of wine and a charcuterie board. Everything was delicious. We had a good time, but I wasn't sitting there trying to scarf down a bunch of food. So if you went, like, that wasn't enough if we were like really hungry. It came to about $160. I put it on the room, and I would definitely go back. It felt touristy, to be honest, because it's like just this, in the square, and it's obviously in the touristy part of Venetian.
It felt touristy? Like,
in Vegas?
As compared to what?
Like, as compared to, like,
it was inelegant, or
as compared to the high limit room.
As compared to, if I were to go into the speakeasy, right? Or if I were to go, even if I were to go into like in the Milos, right? Like, I get that it's touristy, but maybe this is what it was. You're out in the open. So it's just like people walking by all the time. There's people taking photos of the fake ceiling, like the fake sky. So maybe that's what I mean by that's what it felt like.
It's the fake sky. That's been an ongoing issue on this podcast.
Long time listeners will remember.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, I would go again. It was good enough. I don't think I would choose it. I think I'd rather go somewhere where there aren't people just walking by all the time.
I kind of like those places. I'm confused. Okay, I mean,
well, good. Well, we like
this
different
is our first
things.
fight. It's fine.
We like different things, Adam. So this was Hillary's first time in Vegas. So after we had lunch,
she probably doesn't even know where to get the ride share.
She doesn't even know where to get the ride share.
Typical touristy stuff for a first time. Yeah.
Well, I did a little touristy stuff. We walked over to Wynn, and I was like, "This is the nicest place on the Strip for sure." And she had done a lot. She was there with her family. She's the one that I think we talked about a few episodes ago who was going with her 3.5-year-old. And I said, how's that going? And she said, I'll never fucking do this again, I believe was what her words were.
Yeah.
She did say that her son knew that there were adult arcades and kid arcades. As a difference.
Good.
So,
good way to put it.
So I went over to Wynn, and she was like, I've never played craps before. So we found a $25 table, lost a little bit, but it was pretty fun. And then she ended up heading back to her Airbnb with her husband and son. And I said, well, I guess if you're leaving, I'm going to go back and play some video poker. And I played a little bit of video poker and went, man, I'm tired. So I took a little afternoon nap. Which is lovely to take a nice little afternoon nap. At this point in the trip, I was, down probably about $2,000. And I'm
Had you had the big reveal yet?
This was the point where I had the reveal. So I thought I was down 3 and I was only down 2 because I went back to the room and I counted all my money. I'm like, wow, I've got more than I think I should have here. And then I kind of went back through and I was like, oh, I didn't calculate it correctly, because during the stuff with Vinny, I had done $1,000 in cash for a buy-in, and then the second 1,000 was off of my ticket. But what happened was I didn't account for that off of my ticket, so it kind of went twice or something. I don't remember how it happened.
Meanwhile, Vinny's in his room is like, I think I'm down an extra 1,000.
That's probably what it is. I think I just stole it from Vinny. That's probably true. Speaking of Vinny, I wake up from my nap at 8 p.m. and I start gambling
afternoon
a little
nap.
bit.
When did the nap start?
The nap started at 5. I think I took a 3-hour nap, so it was almost asleep.
Wow,
it was
that's a sleep.
And by nap, I mean, so we did lunch at around 3. So I probably got up to the room a little after 5, and I didn't get back down until a little after 8. And I played for a couple of hours, and then Vinny was done with his tournament and was like, hey, do you want to hang out? And I was like, for sure. Let me go get a late night burger at Grand Lux Cafe. It won't take me that long. It took 50 minutes.
Been there. Mm-hmm.
I ordered a bacon cheeseburger and fries.
It was the bacon.
It was the bacon. They had to kill the pig, I think. They went to one of those slot machines to get
to rake the bacon.
To rake the bacon. And it took forever. This is where a group of 4 women, probably about my age, so, around 40, and this guy who looked to be 192 years old, they walk in and they sit down right next to me. And they look over to me and they're like, you should join us. And I was like, no, thank you.
Oh, God, no.
No, thank you. I'm just waiting for my food and then I'm leaving. And they were like, it's her birthday. And it was and I was like, yep, cool. But they sat it was a high top, right next to me in the bar. And so I'm hearing everything that they're saying, and they're pretty drunk. And I would laugh every now and then. And one of them would go, why don't you just come and sit at our table if you're going to laugh at us? And this is so the guy starts talking to me and he's like, oh, what do you play? Blah, blah, blah. And I said, video poker. And this is when he said, do you know the story of the guy who invented 3-line video poker? And I said, no clue who this is.
Was he the guy?
No, he wasn't the guy.
Okay.
No, I forgot the name already. I don't know why it's not
Eddie
in my notes.
Money. I forget what it was. It was
Ernie
like
Moody. Yeah, Ernie Moody.
I was close.
Ernie Moody. So he tells me the story of this guy, Ernie Moody. And he's like, he was out here in Vegas. He was living in his car. He tried to come up with some table games. Nothing was sticking. And I don't know how much of this is true besides a quick Google search.
He was a pioneer.
And then he invented the 3-line video poker. He revolutionized video poker.
God bless him.
God bless this guy, Ernie Moody.
Why is there no statue of him?
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, cool. And he's like, no, you think I'm lying. I'm like, oh, no, I don't think you're lying at all, sir. He's like, he is worth billions of dollars. And
now he might be lying.
He went through this whole thing and he said, at first, he was getting a percentage of the hold, but he needed to have a gaming control license. So instead, he was charging $18 per day per machine. And now he's a billionaire.
We're really getting out there.
I do think certain stuff like this is very obviously true when you look at casinos not installing multi-line games on their bar tops. Mm-hmm. Clearly it costs them more to get the machines with all the gimmicks and bells and whistles and stuff, which is why when Duffy and I stopped by Excalibur's brand new tiki bar, every single machine was just a single line Game King, right? Yeah. And so something this guy is saying is true. It's just not clear exactly as to what.
But I'm going to do a little more research on it. But I did verify at least the part where this is the correct name of the individual who allegedly, according to the internets, was the first person to come up with 3-line video poker, which was kind of cool. And I was like, hey, I will talk about it on my podcast. And he was like, you have a podcast? I was like, never mind. I don't. Exactly. I said, no, I'm just kidding. And I laughed.
Good save.
Ended up going to Sapphire that evening. And
this is what you told the first stripper, right? Did you know?
That's what I did. I told the first stripper that came up to me.
And also Romeo and Juliet. I don't know if you know what this one. Just making small talk.
Actually, It was not that busy, but as a Friday night, so there were a lot of women. And I just wanted to stand near the bar with Vinny and talk to my new friend. And it was like multiple times being like, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you. And
it's worse than like the massage ladies at the Chandelier
yes,
Bar.
Yes. Oh, definitely worse than that.
But more understandable.
But
yes.
but definitely more understandable.
Less out of place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are all these strippers doing in the strip club?
What a tourist trap this
deal?
place is.
Yeah, I stayed there. We stayed there probably till 3 a.m, just having drinks. Not the cheapest of drinks, obviously, $16 beers, but
What time did you get there?
I think about midnight. Ended up getting there. If you go on,
I can't believe you're getting Chenzified. You're staying up
Chenzified.
late.
Yeah,
you're
staying up late.
Gambling big amounts.
I know. I'm
first day you took a nap, or you did like typical
right.
calm things. Went to bed early. Then by the end of the trip, you're at the strip club till 3 a.m.
Till 3. I made sure I saved money by going on their website and using the little chat and saying, "Hey, will you please pick me up?" So that way, you get a free ride, free entry. Just give $20 to the driver. You got to save money where you can in Las Vegas.
Coupon clipping at the strip club is definitely. They love that.
Yeah. So I ended up not getting to bed until after 4 a.m. because when I got back to the Palazzo, I was like, oh, I should just play a little slots for fun. And by the time I got to bed, it was after 4 a.m.
Ugh. Which is 7 a.m. where you're from.
Yeah. I woke up on Saturday at 6:30 a.m. I got 2.5 hours of sleep and my body was just like, hey, it's 6:30. I'm like, oh, I should try to stay sleeping. But I'm like, I just couldn't. I couldn't fall back asleep. So I went down, played a little more at Palazzo, lost another $600-700. And while I was at Bar Luca in the morning, 360 Vegas J-Dubs said, hey, I'm waking up and about to get showered. You should come over. That's not exactly how it went, but pretty similar to that.
No, I like it.
He was FaceTiming you in the showers.
He was FaceTiming me. He's like, hey, can you help me do my mustache?
Yeah. Did I get all my back? And he's just got the camera.
But this was the day that I was moving from Palazzo over to Luxor. But because of my Ruby status, because my screen says James Ruby, you get a 2 p.m. checkout. That's the first thing I did when I got the cab dropping me off at Palazzo at 4 a.m. or 3:30 a.m. I went straight to the registration desk. I was like, hey, I think I need that 2 p.m. checkout.
Yeah, they probably understood.
I think they understood it at that point. So when J-Dubs was like, hey, I'm up and getting ready, we should hang out. I was already down, like I said, $600-700 or so. Decided I'm going to take my jack walk from Palazzo down to Luxor, and I forget how fucking far Luxor is down the strip. It is so far down there.
Palazzo to Luxor is like probably like 3 miles, maybe.
It's a decent hike.
Could be less.
I decided I would walk through Vanderpump Hotel. And
it looks like they've done a lot of work there.
Yeah, they did a decent amount of work. It looked nice. The pay tables were awful, shocking. Not shocking.
It's a shame.
Because it's a Caesar's property. They had bonus poker at the bar, which actually a lot of places I saw this time didn't have bonus poker at the bar, which I'll talk about like at Luxor and Excalibur. But it was 6-5 even at dollars. In the high limit room, they did have 7-5 bonus poker triple play, and they had 9-5 double. So everything was like a tick off of what you would get at a lot of the other places. Mm-hmm. At 9 a.m. on a Saturday, craps was still $15 there, and there wasn't that many people playing, and they had 2 blackjack tables open. They were 3-2, but they're sitting at $25, but they were empty. So that's my wonderful reporting from the Vanderpump Hotel.
I could see 3-2 at least. I think they want to position it as a little higher tier property, or I'm sure she does. So those minimums don't shock me, but I wish people were playing.
Yeah, so I ended up getting to Luxor, finally sat down at the play bar, and they did not have bonus poker on Ultimate X, so I was kind of sad because I really like playing bonus poker on Ultimate X when it's available.
Well, right.
Another sad James trip.
The reason that they don't have it is because it's more advantageous to the player than almost all the other games of the same setting. So
I know, but
I've talked about that.
I just assumed that all the MGM properties would have the same games at their bar tops.
It's true. It's weird when they don't, but they don't.
They did have 7-5 bonus poker at dollars, like 3-line, but double bonus was 8-5, which was odd to me because that's like 2 ticks down. So I don't know. It was a weird bar top at both Luxor and Excalibur.
I do have a theory that.
What's your theory?
Well, one of the theories I have is that casinos will very often make double worse than it ought to be because it's the most popular and it's kind of the default for people. And one example of that's kind of harder evidence of this was the Sand Dollar bar at Plaza, where everything was like 99 to 99.5% return to player, except for double, which was just like kind of some shit game like 8-5 like you're talking about. Okay. So it's just kind of like it feels like it's a bait for people that don't know what they're doing, which I'm all for. I think people should be punished for being ignorant.
That makes sense.
That tracks, doesn't it?
It tracks. Finally met up with J-Dubs, and he was like, let's go play at the center bar at Excalibur. I was like, sure, let's go over there. I was like, I'm going to take it easy.
Oh, I'm now the only one that hasn't played there on the show. I have to do it.
You have to play there. I was like, I'm going to play 10 cents, maybe 5-line 10 cent Ultimate X. I played for a little while, and I said, this is not fun. And so I moved to dollars, bonus poker 7-5. I'm like, that's not too bad. I won't get wrecked. Got fucking wrecked. Uh-oh. For $800 at the Excalibur Center Bar.
Oh, man.
J-Dubs is like, did you cash some of that out? I'm like, nope. It just, when you're getting nothing, it doesn't matter what game you're playing. At about that time, I needed to check out of Palazzo. So I was like, hey, J-Dubs, I'm going to walk over to Palazzo, get my stuff, and then Uber back. And he said, hey, I'll just drive you over there.
Good man.
Which was even better. A really good man. So he drove me over, got my luggage, came back. As I was checking out, I emailed my host and was just like, hey, I'm checking out. If there's anything you can do for some of the charges, let me know. I had only charged, I don't know. I think I had charged the dinner and a couple of drinks, maybe $400 total to the room. And I had a couple hundred in resort credit. By the time I had gotten back to Luxor, he had already replied and he said, hey, there was $140 left on your room. I was able to take 70 off of it from your play, and I used your points for the other 70. So you're all set. I was like, that's nice of you. That's really nice. I didn't expect to do anything extra. I had like $400 in comp dollars. So it was good. Check-in back at Luxor's really easy. You know, I got a QR code and you go and program your own key and everything. You don't have to wait in line. I really like that. Of course, that means that you're not able to talk to somebody to say like, hey, here's a $20 or $50 to like upgrade. But I had booked the King Pyramid Suite, so I wasn't going to try and get any better room than that.
It doesn't get better.
It doesn't. No. In the Pyramid, I was on the 28th floor.
You're right below the light.
There is a 29th and 30th floor. Both of those have X's on them. Not like they went out of their way to put professional X's over them. No, like Sharpie X's.
X's like you get on your wrist if you're underage at a club or something. Yeah.
Exactly. The room was pretty cool. I posted that video on Twitter. Kim made fun of me because at the end of the video, I just look in the mirror and I say, and that's the room I got. And she said that she wants me to make a video for every room, and that's how I need to end it from now on. So I'm going to do that. We'll put it on the future Handy at the Shandy YouTube channel. You know, the limits were low at Luxor and Excalibur. Like I don't know if obviously, but the entire day on Saturday, it was $10 craps. I never saw, I saw one table get up to 15 later on the night, but one table stayed 10 the entire time. They also had $5 blackjack all the time. I don't remember if it was Luxor or Excalibur. I think it was Excalibur. There was only one table. It was 6 to 5, I believe, but it was packed every time I was there. But you know, there's still some decent.
I actually really like that idea of places advertising, hey, we will always have a $5 table. And of course you can't get on it, like you, the guy reading the ad, but they do have it and there is people at it and they're holding up their end of the bargain there. And as long as it's not like they have 1.5 and everything else is like 25, then I'm like perfectly happy for them to just kind of have a lost leader table like that.
At this point, I ended up getting lunch at Del Taco. I didn't know if you guys want a big report from my.
We don't have those
Del
here.
Taco.
I'm sure it's really good.
Well, I used to eat Del Taco all the time when I was in Southern California, so I was excited when I saw that in the little food court. Went and played a little bit of video poker in their high limit room
at Del Taco.
At Del Taco, yeah, at Luxor, and hit 4 2s with a kicker on an 8x. So ended up winning $1,500 in that session. At that point, my flight is the next morning at 7. And so I'm like, well, I don't think I'm going to get crushed for like $4,000 tonight. So I should leave with a little bit of money, which I was excited to end up doing. This is about the time where I'm like, okay, I've got one more night. I'm going to go over to Cosmo to play a little bit at the Chandelier Bar. On my way over, I'm stopped at the New York Center Bar to watch the first half of the basketball game. So of Game 7. They had, so New York had Ultimate X bonus poker.
Nice.
So I played for the entire first half of the game, 50 cents Ultimate X bonus poker, and ended up leaving down $155. And I got almost 3,000 tier credits from that session, which was
nice.
which was pretty good. During halftime, I walked over to Cosmo Aria area. I saw live from the Brooklyn Bridge outside of New York. I know on our last episode we were talking about free things to do in Vegas. They have a concert series. So you know the Brooklyn Bridge, right? We talked about the Brooklyn Bridge, New York.
It's my favorite thing, in fact.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One good thing. They have a summer concert series. So just a free concert out there.
And it was no doubt.
It was no doubt. It probably was. I will say that I walked through. So I walked in front of New York. I went through the park, and then I went into Park MGM. And after being in Excalibur and Luxor, it was such an extreme difference of having a no smoking casino. It wasn't that when I was in other casinos, I was thinking, man, this is so smoky, but just the difference of walking in there being like, oh my God, this is clean air. I get it. I 100% get it. I was getting hungry, so I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go over to Gymkhana and just see if they do like a seat at the bar. So I go in and they're like, no, it's all reservations. I'm like, I figured as much.
I'm bummed because that was like my goal. Once I saw their bar was like pretty long, I was like, ooh, I could maybe just like walk in at 5 and get a seat there. But they're so popular right now.
And I should have been like, well, do you have did any single cancel today? But I was like, nah, I'm not going to. So I decided to just go. I had $150 in resort credit from my one night stay at the MGM property. So I went to Jean Georges and ate at the bar. I ended up being like, I need to spend $150. So I got a filet, I got a baked potato, and I'm like, this is only going to be like $100. What am I going to do? And so I looked at their wine list and was like, sure, this is a $45 cab for a single glass of wine. Wow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to tell the difference. It tasted fine. But I sent a picture to Kim. I'm like, see, I allow myself to get nice wine when I'm by myself. And then the last thing I did was decided to gamble a little bit at the Cosmo. Sat at the Chandelier Bar and looked at my budget and I said, hey, I've got like $3,000 left that I was willing to spend. Burning a hole in my pocket.
Get it out of there.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put $1,000 in and play my 50 cents double bonus to try and hit something.
At Ultimate X.
I played for a decent amount of time, probably like close to an hour. I got a decent amount of credits, but lost that $1,000. And then the one and only Vinny Chenz showed up and said, hey,
do you want out of the mist?
Do you want to run it back? I was like, yeah, let's run it back. So we each put in
the worst influence.
We each put in $1,000, but we decided to take it a little easier. We did 25 cents, 10 line. Or no, sorry. We did 50 cents, but only 5 line. We did only 5 lines, so 10 line. And we hit 4 threes.
I like you say
only,
which is
only.
It's because you didn't go to the extremes that you had bumped down.
Did not go to the extremes. We played for a decent amount and ended up winning $500 between the two of us. So we split that for $250. And I'm like, I'm going to go back and go to bed. Except for I walked by a crapless table that was $25 and I hadn't played any craps on this trip. So I'm like, I'm going to play crapless. Nothing exciting happened. I lost $363 specifically.
Are you sure it wasn't like 1,363?
I'm positive it was 1,000. And yeah, I got to bed at a decent time, woke up, went to the airport, and headed on home. I did hit a little video poker before bed, obviously, because I couldn't just go straight to bed, but I won $4 in that session, so it's not worth talking about. Overall, the trip, I just did all the accounting this morning, like went through everything. I wasn't as specific with some of like at times I'd be like, oh, and 63 cents. Like now I just kind of round to either like the nearest dollar or whatever.
Cents.
He rounds the nearest slots. 1,000, it sounds like.
Yeah, that's true. I ended up, according to my records, down 3,075 cents.
I actually would have guessed more from having heard all these ups and downs.
What I realized is I didn't have any single session that I lost besides besides that session with Vinny, which I guess in the overall session, I was still only down probably about 1,000. I didn't lose more than $1,000 on any single session. And a lot of times when I'm out there, especially playing Ultimate X at 25 or 50 cents, there will be a session where I'm just like down 1,500 real quick. So when I was losing like 800, 650. But then I had one session that I won 2,200 and one session that I won 1,500. So when I did all the calculations out, it ended up being good. And but I did take 5,000 out in markers though, because obviously I got to maximize getting those markers out of the Venetian. So it was a good trip. A lot of gambling. Could have been more, but it was 5 nights, which is a lot of nights.
And you did some new things.
I've got 5 nights coming up for this next one, so I'm getting excited.
I think we're going to talk about it in hour 2, right?
Oh, yeah.
We'll get a little preview, yeah. So thanks, everyone, for listening to James's trip report. I didn't have to do much hosting, which was great for me.
Great. Yeah, wait. Who take 25 isn't divisible by 3.
It's divisible by 25. So I know episode 50, I'm up, I think. I'm not good at math, but we'll skip that.
That might not actually be how it works. But
anyway, thank you all for listening to hour 1 of episode 25. In hour 2, we're going to go through some listener feedback and answer some listener questions as well. But for Table James Games, For Table James Games and Boring Jack, I'm Adam the Fraud. Thanks for listening.
Take care.
Bye.